Good afternoon, Virgin Islanders, and a happy Old Year's Day to you. I am so sorry I'm late, but I did have to do a little extra spoofing up for you today. I just want to say that Virgin Islanders at home and abroad, I wish you all the compliments of the seasons, the blessing of this new year that's coming. We're almost there. We're almost out of 2020, and hopefully 2021 will be a much brighter year. So far, we have tested 2,324 people for COVID-19 since our last update. And out of those 2,324 people, 98 of those people tested positive, which means that our COVID-19 positive rate for the week is at 4%, which is below our 5%, which you know is our mark and is the nation mark in terms of maintaining good positivity. As of this morning, we have 124 active cases of COVID-19 in the territory. We have tested 36,241 individuals. That's 36% of our population. I think we might be leading in terms of states' percentage of population tested thus far. And of those tests, 34,139 came back negative and 2,031 came back positive. 1,884 of those individuals who have tested positive since March when we first started with this thing have successfully recovered. And as far as hospitalizations go, we have two COVID patients at the 1F Louis Hospital and no COVID positive patients at the Schneider Regional Medical Center. So in the territory, we only have 2 people hospitalized at this point. So moving along really good. We have been doing really well in stomping out of the surges that have popped up. As you know, we've had surges in St. Thomas early on and St. John. Then we switched. It's like knocking a tennis ball back and forth. We have a slight surge in St. Croix, but you know, we have a good team, and I really want to say a special thank you to the COVID team for the incredible work that they have done this past 11 months in trying to keep us safe. And what we did is that we look at the statistic and the numbers, and we've employed a strategy where we just ramp up the testing, and we especially take that testing to places like community centers like the Canigata Ballpark. We take it to Home Depot, supermarkets, and do random testing. We also have testing at the Department of Health and labs all around all the territories. So we're trying to find the COVID wherever it is. And we raised our numbers from doing maybe 200 to 300 to 500 to 600 tests a day. And that strategy has been proven really successful in finding people quickly when they're positive and getting them isolated. I must say you've been doing an awesome job too in making sure that you stay isolated when you have any symptoms, you're feeling sick, and keeping away and wearing your mask. So our numbers have plummeted from 189 active to 112 active over the week. It ticked up yesterday to 124 where we are today. So in order for us to really keep people safe and keep up this pace with the testing and keep our numbers low, we're going to be implementing one more measure that we think is going to keep everybody safe. And effective Monday, January 18th, we want to give it 2 weeks for this to happen. No one will be allowed to get on a plane to the U.S. Virgin Islands unless you have a negative COVID test. This doesn't mean just the tourists. That means no one. That means you, me, everybody, granny, everybody cannot get on a plane. So when you make your reservations to go to the States for medical or whatever leave, please just figure out where you can get a COVID test within 5 days of you coming back to our beautiful Virgin Islands, as we want to make sure that we work with the airlines to implement this. They've been very cooperative. You won't be able to check in. You won't be able to get your boarding pass unless you can be able to display that negative test taken within 5 days of your departure from wherever it is you're coming from. Well, we're working with the airlines. I know we're going to have a little snafus. It's not going to run smoothly at first, but we think that when we do this, we're going to be able to keep everybody safe. Once we get the COVID numbers low, we could reduce the amount of people coming in with the virus, then we'll be doing really well. And it will be challenging, and I know you're going to call me and you say, oh, I see somebody without a test gear on the plane. But we're going to get it right, and we're going to keep this Virgin Islands real, real nice. Since our last update, plenty of good news. Last week, Congress voted on a new COVID-19 relief bill. Of course, it didn't have some of the goodies that we wanted in there, like money to stabilize our budget and do some of the things that we have to do here in the Virgin Islands responding to the COVID. But the legislation continues assistance to families and individuals impacted by COVID, and that's really important. It gives additional relief to small businesses, and it contains a lot of provisions for residents. And you know, I go through the territory, and I realize that a lot of people are hurting. You know, the economy in St. Croix is doing really well, and still there are people out of jobs because the hospitality isn't maybe where it's supposed to be. But in St. Thomas and St. John particularly, I'm concerned. A lot of people over there used to 2 jobs. Main Street is not doing well. We haven't seen a lot of tourists. Our taxi drivers, our ferry operators, we've been trying to give support to try to support and help people all they can. But this new bill actually has another stimulus check, which we'll be cranking out as soon as we get the money. You'll get the money. It's $600 per adult. And then those who have lost their job, they're going to get an additional $300. As you know, in the Virgin Islands, the maximum payment is $600, 6 and change. You'll be getting about $900 a week as a result of the bill. We also have another a couple billion in Paycheck Protection Program for us. We did $120 million over the last 11 months. And there's $25 billion in rental assistance. I want to talk to you about that as well too, because we're going to be really looking into help people get up and pay their rent. That's not only a help to the people who are in distress, but also the landlords. And we will, as soon as we get some more money, we will be looking at the power bills again, because I know some of you are in distress. Some people have let their bill get really behind, and WAPA is going to start cutting come the 7th at the end of the season. So you need to get that. We're going to be trying to see if we can find some assistance for you. And they're going to extend the eviction moratorium, so you can't evict people. But landlords are people too, and we need to get some money in their hands. So we're going to be trying to help you the best way we can. We continue to work with our delegate to Congress, our lobbyists in Washington, all our federal partners, our senators that work with us. I'd like to say a special shout out to Senator Joe Manchin, who has been phenomenal for us, making sure that the territories get their fair share in anything that is sharing from that COVID-19 federal assistance table. As of this morning, the Department of Labor, who's doing an incredible job, has issued 50,000 checks in regular unemployment. That's $40 million to Virgin Islanders. And then they have also issued 28,000 checks to pandemic unemployment compensation. That's $46 million. And in addition, they've also issued the other pandemic unemployment assistance, which is $10 million, and another $4.7 million in unemployment compensation checks for emergency. To date, the department has issued over $104 million. Just to put it in perspective, that's about half the payroll of the entire government for the year in 11 months. So if you are qualifying for benefits, you lost your job, please go see them at www.vidal.gov or at one of their offices in St. Croix or St. Thomas. Remember, their in-person visits are Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. You know, I know we still have people out there who are looking for checks. We're doing our best to try to get to you and give you that assistance. You know, this year, this 2020 was certainly unlike any other that we have seen in modern history. I mean, the pandemic changed the way we live, our cultural activities, it changed our education system, our family life, and our economic outlook for the foreseeable future. These are just some of the things that have changed among many more. We've lost loved ones, friends, family. I don't know any people who have not been affected in some way by a COVID death or a COVID sickness or someone close to them. But there's an old saying, it says that if you want to hear God laugh, tell him your plans. Plans and dreams over this past year have had to be deferred, and we had to retool and relearn and rethink what we're going to do for the future. These were some very scary times. And I'll be the first to tell you, I had many sleepless nights. Almost 11 months into this pandemic, there is just a little glimmer of light, just a little bit at the end of the tunnel. We have started the distribution of the vaccine, and today, over 870 people in the Virgin Islands have already been vaccinated, thanks to our wonderful medical providers, the Department of Health, Vitima, and the team. But the reluctance of individuals to take the vaccine and the gargantuan task of distributing this vaccine to over 300 million people in America is sobering. And it must make all our leaders in this great nation and the world and their constituents prepared to be in this holding pattern for at least another 9 months. And that sounds like a long time. We've been doing this for 11 months. The Virgin Islands is off to a fast clip, but lots of places haven't even really did any dent in terms of distributing this vaccine. And just as we hear that we're on the way to getting rid of this, there's a new variant that has now been found in England and now being found in Colorado. So we got to hunker down and be ready to do this as a new way of life. But the pandemic did have some great silver linings, though. And as our community and the world, we just took a headlong plunge into the digital world and learned to access services via the internet using all manner of media, from phones, laptops, iPads, whatever. Even our seniors that got involved being able to communicate. We have a prayer line that we do, and I am so amazed to see all my seniors on there using their Zoom and participating in some type of community togetherness on our prayer line. Our students soon will be equipped to learn and thrive in the modern digital world, as we have secured the financial means to give every single child in the Virgin Islands a laptop and access to the World Wide Web, which we have expanded as well, and soon we'll be able to access the internet for free at our libraries, our housing communities, and major places in our towns. It's going to be awesome. See, the Virgin Islands has long been known for being at the top of the bottom list and at the bottom of the top list. We always come in last in our reading and our writing. We come in last in our production in terms of how we're doing compared to our financial statements. We come in last in terms of our bond ratings. And we're always at the top. Oh, we're rated high for crime and we're rated high for this. But for the first time in modern history, this year, we have led the Caribbean and the nation in straddling the delicate line between health and economic well-being for our people. Today, our positivity rate is among the lowest in the nation, and our tourism is better than anywhere in the Caribbean. We were among the first in the nation to implement our no mask, no service policy, and we were happy to see when other people followed. If we just look to our east, we have capitalized on the tourism previously headed out of the territory to the BVI or further to St. Kitts, Anguilla, Nevis. They're all coming to the Virgin Islands now. And we have done that without shutting our borders completely forever. And if you look to our west, we have maintained our freedoms without having to impose curfew. Little as it is said, Puerto Rico has now recorded 132,000 cases of COVID and 1,500 deaths. And believe it or not, the Little Bahamas have over 164 deaths. There were so many valuable lessons that were learned along the way. And it taught a nation, the United States of America, that was built on capitalism and profit, that the health and well-being of its citizens is the most important thing among all others. We sit now and we are doing so well. We're thriving in terms of our marine. Everywhere you go, you see the boats, small boats, big boats, yachts, lining our shores. Our air travel is increasing weekly. Now we have announced additional flights from Minneapolis and the Midwest, not only to St. Thomas, but to St. Croix as well. Our Airbnbs and our hotels that are open are full. And you can see the tourists enjoying our beaches and our stores wearing their masks as we continue to fight in the epidemic of this pandemic. When I left the airport this morning, it looked like a used jet sail lot. Jets of every size and description come to the Virgin Islands to celebrate and see in the new year. We have done that, and we have still kept Virgin Islands, you, your friends, and your family safe. Last November, I told you that hard times were coming, as they always do, not knowing that we would be faced with a worldwide pandemic. I'm telling you that we are doing so well that while yesterday 3,700 people died in the United States of America, Virgin Islanders were talking about how to get horse racing back. And I'm going to fix that too. You see, we forget that at the same time that we're moving through this, we have record numbers of hospitalizations, and our priorities must be that of this pandemic and making sure that we continue to keep people safe and earn money to make sure that we can pay them as well. Last year, I knew that eventually bad things happen. It has happened to every single governor, from Frederick and David in Farrelly's administration to the Great Recession in the Young to Hugo during the Farrelly administration, 2 storms during the MAP and pandemic in this Bryan Roach administration. I urge the legislature to be conservative in their budgeting and make haste in implementing measures that would generate new sources of revenue for the territory. 2 years now, 2 years into our administration, I have learned that we have some elected leaders here in the Virgin Islands whose egos are bigger than their need to serve the people of these Virgin Islands. I've learned that these same individuals find it more important to be right than to do the right thing. The people of the Virgin Islands will pay generationally for the opportunities that we choose to forgo today. You see, I remember the sage boss of an old supervisors that always said to me, Albert, make a decision, good or bad, and be able to justify it. But one thing you never do is choose to do nothing. You see, our problems, they're not going anywhere unless we work on them, unless we face them head on and make the best decisions given the options that we have, not pontification on options that are not available. We have to act and act swiftly so that the opportunities don't escape us. Like my good favorite Calypsonian shadow to say, he said his father was waiting for those good things that come to those who wait. His father ended up in a coffin. He see me wait too late. As your governor, I am neither deterred nor discouraged, as I will continue to work on behalf of the people that have no voices. I will not bow to the political will of ambition and egos that do not have the people's interest at heart. I will not wait for someone or something to come and save us. Tregenza, myself, and the entire team will continue to work to improve the quality of life for each and every Virgin Islander and the guests that come here. I would like to thank all of you that continue to share your words of encouragement and support with us moving forward. There is an old adage that the good senator shared the other day on the floor. He said, hurry dog, eat raw meat. But remember, there's another part of that message. Slow dog, don't eat nothing at all. From my experience, big dogs, we prefer raw meat. Anyway, I would like to thank you for joining with me here today. I brought the Health Commissioner with us in order to answer any questions that you may have, if we have any from the press. Seems that there are no questions today. We're going to make it a short cap day. I just want to wish you all God's blessings for this beautiful holiday season. And I will hope that 2021, we could all spend a couple minutes in prayer tonight, that the prosperity and the blessings that we have had in 2020 that brought us this far will continue to benefit all Virgin Islanders for 2021. God bless you. Love you. Have a good evening.